The title of the blog, and what we'll be going more into detail in this Empire Life podcast solo episode, is the top 21 female podcasters of 2021. When you feature someone, even if they are in a similar field than you are essentially opening the door, opening your community to this person. And in turn, this is sending out a certain kind of energy into the world. And in turn, they may open their community to you. And when this happens, communities are unlocked. The misconception is I may not be able to feature XYZ person because they may take clients away from me because they do something similar to me. I want to rephrase this or like completely take this misconception and throw it in the trash because it is totally false. We are rising together. And as we get to the top, there's enough for all of us. The first one is the Marie Forleo podcast. With her guests, she shares actionable strategies for greater happiness, success, motivation, creativity, productivity, love, health, contribution, and fulfillment, often with a lot of laughs, and that is always fun. From business, marketing, and career advice to tackling failure, disappointment, and fear to philanthropy, I hope I said that right, and doing our part to make the world a more loving, just, and equitable place. She covers it all. So let's get inspired, let's grow stronger, more confident, and create a business and life you genuinely love. The second one is yours truly, Allison Ramsey's podcast, Empire Life Podcast. We've worked our patooties, our asses off on this podcast, and definitely deserves to be on the list. Very happy to talk about this. It's hosted by yours truly, Allison Ramsey, and also best-selling author of Redefine is our book, and you can find that on Amazon. Huge bestseller, amazing women who are featured there. There's 8 other stories that are featured there on their rising to success, their rising feminine, I was going to say feminine, their rising phoenix stories on how they decided that they wanted to define their success, redefine their success. And the second one, which if you're listening to this later, probably it's already been filled, but right now we have 2 spots open. I can also put the link to apply to be in our book. If you are a female identifying business owner, you identify as a female, and you own a business, those are the 2 caveats. And of course, have an incredible rising phoenix story to share with the world and be promoted on all of our social media, here on the podcast, on our YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. We have over 500,000 incredible humans there that you'll be exposed to. It's an incredible opportunity. Again, we have 2 spots open for that. The first one made me a best-selling author, and all of the women in the book are also best-selling authors, and we rose together. We did it all together, and I led that project. The second one is going to be called Reclaim, which is all about reclaiming our freedom, sovereignty, and success. And you can reach out to me on any of our social media if this is something that you really feel called in your heart. You are like, I need to be there. I need to figure out what I need to do. I'm all in. I'm going to pay in full. I need to be there. Reach out to me. And if you're watching this and we've already finished the second book, Reclaim, we're going to continue to do series. This is going to be like a huge series. I'm a software developer, female founder of Empire Life, and I also host this podcast featuring, hosting, and interviewing special guests, mentors, experts, and incredible humans in their field. You'll get to know these experts in business at a personal level while feeling energized, seen, and experience resonance with these guests. These great leaders talk with Allison as we are having tea together, and we get really real with our listeners. You'll learn a lot about business and personal development concepts. And the next one is Make Money Your Honey podcast, which is hosted by Amazon best-selling author and millennial personal finance blogger Amanda Abea. She's also a former client of mine of the Empire Life. We were her mentor, are her mentor and her coach, myself and my team, and really we're guiding her in scaling her business. So she is also a former client, and I'm so happy to talk about her here because she's incredible. Of course, because she was one of our clients. Of course, she's amazing. We serve and support incredible female founders. Amanda Abea is the host of this podcast. Again, it's Make Money Your Honey, dedicated to everything you need to know about millennials, marketing, and money in the new economy, from personal finance topics like paying off student loans and credit cards to online business and expert interviews. This show aims to help millennials everywhere build a better relationship with their work and their money. This is a new kind of podcast for a new kind of generation that craves flexibility, abundance, and a fulfilling career. And the next one of my all-time favorite authors. I would love to hug her in person one day. I just continuously send her love because I absolutely love her work. I've read all of her books. Well, I say not all of her books, not probably the last two, but I've read Big Magic, Eat, Pray, Love, and I think you probably know, based on those two, who I'm talking about. The fourth amazing female-led podcaster is Magic Lessons by Elizabeth Gilbert. Bestselling author Elizabeth Gilbert returns for this season of her hit podcast, Magic Lessons, which I listen to all of, by the way, ready to help another batch of aspiring artists overcome their fears and create more joyfully. Some of her guest experts include, if I hope I do not butcher any of these names, I hope I say them right, Neil Gaiman, Gary Shinetgard, Amy Purdy, Michael Ian Black, Brandon Staten, Martha Beck, and Glennon Doyle Melton, which Glennon is featured a little later in this podcast. Pretty epic. The fifth one, the Rachel Hollis podcast. Now, if you've been following the news, you probably saw that this last year, Rachel got into a little bit of hot water, and she's learning, like all of us are learning. She's growing. She has a growth mindset. Her intention, I feel like if you listen to her podcast, she talks about how she has a growth mindset and she's always learning. She apologized and she learned from her experience this last year. She shares openly, transparently, and really, I feel like in a real way on her podcast. I really admire the flow and the conversation kind of style of her podcast. We really appreciate, myself and at Empire Life, her candid approach to life and her sharing genuinely of what she feels comfortable to share with her guest. And this is a little bit more about her. From New York Times bestselling author Rachel Hollis comes from the ultimate podcast for anyone looking for more joy and purpose in their lives, featuring candid interviews with top performers in business, media, and lifestyle, as well as deep dives into topics like health and motivation. The Rachel Hollis podcast has everything you need to level up in your life, and she has new episodes every Tuesday. The sixth one is the Kelly Roach Show, and the Kelly Roach Show exists to inspire and equip overworked entrepreneurs to step into the role of 7+, that's 7, y'all, 7, and I'm from Texas, so I say y'all sometimes. That's 7+ figure CEO with cutting edge marketing strategy, timeless business principles, and the psychology behind scaling exponentially. Tune in each week to learn from Kelly Roach, a former Fortune 500 executive and NFL cheerleader turned multi-million-dollar business growth strategist. In each episode, Kelly shares the truth about what it takes to grow a million company, the strategies that are working today, and the business principles. She just had Elena Cordone. Y'all, that's epic. Elena Cordone knows her shit. She's doing amazing things in the world too. Awesome, Kelly Roach. Keep doing your thing. We love it. And number 7, the Gold Digger podcast with Jenna Kutcher. I hope I said that right. Host Jenna Kutcher brings you social media strategies, productivity tips, business hacks, authentic entrepreneurship, truths, and inspirational stories that can help you design your dream business and life. Jenna shares tangible, actionable advice that she used to escape the 9-to-5 hustle and become a self-made millionaire through photography, digital courses, affiliate marketing, and influencer campaigns. She shares everything that has helped her navigate over this decade of entrepreneurship. And I want to tell y'all, her content is stunning. She really knows how to make content stunning. There's her social media there. And number 8, The Strong Her Way with Alicia Carlson. Alicia Carlson, and she's also someone that I've talked to a lot. And her vision about women feeling comfortable in their own skin is epic. It's epic. Like, we need this. We need this in the world. We need women who are out there advocating for other women, feeling comfortable, confident, and healthy in their own skin. And that's what she's all about. She is a non-diet lifestyle coach and founder of the Strong Her Way. She works with women using her non-diet approach to food, fitness, and life transformation to help guide her clients create a healthy and balanced lifestyle without dieting, deprivation, or restriction. She teaches women how to radically love themselves, their bodies, and their lives. The 9th one is The Brand is Female. This weekly series hosted by Eva, I'm not sure exactly how to say that, Hartling, Eva Hartling, brings you authentic stories of self-accomplishment from powerful, iconic women of all backgrounds, including entrepreneurs, business leaders, media personalities, and more. This is a podcast brought to you by women entrepreneurs. Number 10, We Can Do the Hard Things with Glennon Doyle. Glennon Doyle is the author of Untamed. I read that book and it's freaking epic. Might want to read it. This book was released at the very start of the pandemic and became a lifeline for millions. She watched in awe from her home while this simple phrase from Untamed, "We can do the hard things," became a mantra that had saved her life for 20 years and became a worldwide, let's try to say that again, worldwide rally cry, because we experienced the hardship of the pandemic collectively. Many of us finally acknowledged what was true before COVID and what will be true after, that life can be freaking hard. We are all doing the hard things every single day. Things like loving and losing. Things like forgiving and ending friendships, battling addiction, illness, loneliness, struggling in our jobs, our marriages, and possibly divorces, setting boundaries, and fighting for equality, purpose, freedom, and peace. We can do it. We can do the hard things. Each week, she brings you an episode that will help bring out more of the epic joys that she's been sharing. And I'm going to leave it at that. She's incredible, incredible best-selling author. And thank you for sharing your light in the world, Glennon. Number 11, Fierce Females of History podcast. I mean, that just summarizes it, right? There's a lot of fierce females and they deserve to be featured. They deserve to be talked about. And there probably wasn't any podcasts at that time. And it's really fascinating to learn more about these incredible females of history that were badass. From the host of this podcast, this is a quick disclaimer and what she says on her iTunes description. They're journalists, not historians, but they love history. So tune in every week as one of the 3 hosts shares the story of one woman. They discuss history, wine, and geese. Drop them a line here. This podcast is about incredible women in history who made a difference. Number 12, Leadership is Female podcast. This podcast is all about improving our lives by increasing the opportunities for women to lead. They share others of their life and their business, and the Leadership is Female podcast brings interviews with female leaders about sports to you each week that they uncover opportunities, hear tips to elevate their career, learn from their mistakes and successes, and really get you to the top faster. I mean, who doesn't want to get to the top faster, right? She leads her forward because leadership is female. Number 13, the Influence and Impact podcast. The Influence and Impact podcast from leadership coach Carla Miller. She helps female leaders tackle self-doubt, become brilliant at influencing, and making more impact at work. It's personal development meets professional development to help you thrive in today's workplace. Episodes are short and sweet, so listeners can start their working week feeling energized, inspired, and empowered. Number 14, Alpha Female Energy podcast. I mean, what a strong name. Alpha Female Energy. Like, I want to listen to this every day. It's an incredible name, by the way. This is a safe space that ignites your mindset, lifestyle, and behavior. And the host is an Ohio-based modern-day Renaissance woman for real-life fun and impactful conversation during a one-on-one moments and interviews that can motivate you to design the life you've always wanted, scale your business, and manifest the life you desire. She impacts topics even on 90s R&B influence, on marriage, movies, and anything really that inspires her. Number 15, the Female Discipline podcast. The Female Discipline podcast is a podcast dedicated to pushing boundaries and smashing goals. Nicole comes at listeners raw and unedited as a female leader to help you achieve greatness. Number 16, a Strong Female Lead podcast. The Strong Female Lead podcast is a podcast about being the heroine of your own life. Yes, this is what we do in Empire Life. This is what we do, pretty much. We're guiding women on being the heroines of their own life. We're guiding women on manifesting, creating, and scaling their dream businesses and their passions. In this show, Megan will talk about breaking patterns, going from low self-worth and to high self-worth, and finding the strength to walk away from unhealthy situations. Her podcast will feature bits of her personal journey about learning to love herself in the unlikely places she discovered her voice. Number 17, Embracing Intensity podcast. Have you ever felt like you're just too much, too intense, too consumed by what life has in store that you can't ever feel fulfilled? Aurora Remember Holtzman, I hope I said that right. Aurora Remember Holtzman has news. You are not too much. Perhaps you simply haven't embraced your naturally excitable self. Oh, I've embraced it. I have. I know I'm often too much and too intense. So I love this, Aurora. In embracing intensity, Aurora will take everything you think you know about what it means to be intense and excitable and show you how intensity is actually not a weakness, but a hidden power. Each week, Aurora will interview strong, creative, and sensitive women. Are you talking about me, Aurora? Who embody what it means to embrace intensity in order to show you how to embrace your life at the fullest. Yes, let's get it. Let's get it. Number 18, Astrological Intentions with Sandy and Alex Reeve. They are alchemists of astrology and clay. They help their clients align with their life path, current intentions, and purpose with handmade, astrologically timed talisman. Joined by her daughter, Alex Reeve together. So this is Sandy and Alex Reeve. Together, they help you harness the positive energy of the heavens to become one with your path. I mean, we want the heavens to be open to us. This is incredible. Number 19, the Mindful Psychology Podcast. Gen Angela is the host of this podcast. She unpacks the notion of letting go and the role it plays in our healing journey. She believes we will explore different stages of dealing with challenging experiences and how to create a sense of safety and security within ourselves. Number 20, and also number 20 is a best-selling author in the first book, Redefine. She's incredible. Incredible. And she's also on a testimonial on empirelifeacademy.com/book. You can see her videos there. She has tons of videos that are super high quality also on her LinkedIn and all of her personal profiles. Her name is Elise Crafts, and she's phenomenal. Let me say that again for the people in the back, as Rachel Hollis says, for those in the back, Elise Craft is phenomenal. I highly suggest to consume all of her content and as soon as you can. Oh, number 20 is Elise Craft's podcast called On the Verge. On the Verge is a podcast. It's not just a podcast, it's a movement and a mission to provide women outstanding coaching and mentoring as they navigate living their life's journey. Teaching outstanding communication, boundaries, money mindset, and manifestation, as well as understanding the functional energetics, are all part of this well-rounded curriculum. And number 21, last but not least, incredible. All of these podcasts are incredible. Number 21 is the Food Heaven podcast. Here you can join BFFs and registered dietitian nutritionists Wendy Lopez and Jessica Jones as they talk about different health and nutrition experts as they talk to, and they are health and nutrition experts, about how we can live a healthier, more balanced life. Each week, they dive deep into topics like health at every size, food and culture, intuitive eating, mental health, and body acceptance. All of some of my favorite topics, by the way. Keep doing you guys amazing work in the world. If you're looking for a sustainable and inclusive path to wellness, hang out with Wendy and Jess every Wednesday to learn how to take care of yourself from the inside out. That is the end. That is 21, the top 21 female podcasters of 2021. And then a few advertisements here. If you haven't had a chance to grab our best-selling book, we're going to put that link there too. It's empirelifeacademy.com/book. And I'll be also putting the link of this podcast in the show notes. We really want to give credit where credit is due, and these incredible women deserve to be given credit where credit is due. And I will talk to you all very soon. Make sure to subscribe, join our online communities if you feel called to and it's in alignment with you.